will continue to yield interesting results, and there's no guarantee. We embrace
Yeah.
the adventure of seeing what happens by continuing to do science. And these are the kinds of areas, we try to imagine which areas are promising, and I think you and I have been discussing some really wonderful ones, and we got to jump in and check it out and see what happens.
Are you optimistic about us detecting polarization in the CMB that would truly show an influence of gravitational waves from the Big Bang, primordial gravitational waves?
Optimistic enough for people to support people doing it. And I would
Yeah.
say I would say I don't feel I don't have a feeling like, oh, this particular model is so much better than that particular model, and it's gonna yield a result, or it's not gonna yield a result. I don't tend to live in that space. It's kind of like, you know what you've raised is something that would be answered in the space of these potentials that we were drawing on the screen a little while ago. Would it be this potential or that potential? Um, I've actually found there's a lot of people, that's like a lot of bread and butter cosmology is done exploring that. It's not my greatest interest because, as I think I said, I find these bigger questions sort of looming in a way that will probably result in be about the breakdown of quantum field theory and other dramatic changes. And so I feel, I don't feel attached. I don't spend my time figuring out which potential I like better than which other potential. And so but I think, you know, I'm reminded, I'm reminded of a part of my personal history from long ago, which is that I remember um, visiting Caltech, and I don't remember I don't have a clear memory of who I was talking with, but I'm guessing it was Andy Lang, and this was very early in the days of inflation. And by the way, my personal experience with inflation was, we wrote this paper, Paul and I, and it instantly became this big hit. And a friend recently asked me, outside of science, asked me, so how did it feel? Like, how did you feel about that? And I said I felt really wary because and I was already aware of some of these bigger questions, and I wanted to make contributions that would be embraced as real science, not just 1 year, but into the future. And I could tell there was a lot of faddish thinking going on. I was very suspicious
Mm.
of the sort of the drama that was emerging with that, and I was shocked to find this observational cosmologist I encountered at Caltech, probably Andy Lang, saying, "Please, we need to know." This was before anyone had worked this stuff out. We need to know what you're predicting for the CMB so we can go out and measure it. And I was thinking, oh my God, these are the guys who hold the key to really understanding it, because these guys are going to take the data and tell us what's true. And I sort of felt like the world of theory at that time was a bit of a circus with wild ideas coming back and forth, and and the idea that this very dignified, practical observer was looking to us for support seemed really surprising to me. Now I understand that the
Huh.
psychology, you don't want to go with
Yeah.
data unless there's something that's going to mean to someone. So
Yeah,
I've shifted, but it was part of my education to sort of journey
for
through
sure.
that. And I think I have enough interest that I want to work hard to help the people who are doing this measurement feel it's a good idea. I think it really is. Um,
But let me ask you along those lines, though. What about the failure to find the B mode signature? Because obviously, as you've been saying, you can fiddle with the inflationary model to suppress the strength of the signal of the primordial gravitational waves. But would that then start to make you feel like you're tuning it again and moving away from a more convincing framework, or will it have no impact? if we don't find them, will it have any impact on your sensibility regarding
For
inflation?
my particular nature and the way I'm journeying through these questions, it will be very interesting because it'll be a kind of boundary condition on what can work.